Hey Robin, it's me, and this is how I look like today, the 31st of December, the last day of the year. This is me. This is how 2017 made me. This is how I'm going to end 2017. This is what I physically look like, which is not much. I didn't change a lot from what I was in 2016. My face is mostly the same. I have no scars, no marks, no new hair, no new anything. I'm practically the same person, physically. But mentally I was truly forced to change. 2017 made me change. I am not the same kid that I was in 2016 mentally. It's because this was an ugly year. 2017 was pretty ugly. And that's what I'm gonna talk to you about. My ugly 2017. So without further ado, welcome to Ville. So why was 2017 ugly? First, it was the first year where my grandfather didn't exist for any part of it. He wasn't here for 2017. He didn't get to live any day of 2017. And that is pretty ugly. It was the first year in which I was not part of an organization that planned what I was going to do. By which I mean I was not part of any university. I took a sabbatical year and it was pretty scary. For my entire life I have been part of a plan. I have been part of a system that creates what I'm going to do for the next years. I was in school and I was supposed to enter university so that I had plans, but I didn't. I failed at doing so, which was pretty ugly and scary, which led to another ugly thing, the separation of me and my two best friends. One went to San Francisco and the other, he stayed here, but he entered a university and I didn't. And we got separated, physically and connection-wise. We got separated. It just didn't work as it used to do. I got separated from my best friends and that was pretty ugly. I also made a lot of mistakes this year, one of which culminates in the ending of a romantic relationship I was involved in this year. It ended, and it was because of a lot of reasons, but also because a lot of mistakes I made, and it was pretty ugly. I mean, it didn't end ugly, but it was ugly that it had to end. It started in 2016 and it was amazing for a year, and it ended in 2017, and it has been painful for 6 months. More or less 6 months. I don't like counting down bad things. And so, yeah, this was a year of mistakes, bad decisions, failure. It was an ugly year. So in the end, I decided not to allow myself to make bad decisions. I wanted to end this year by unuglifying it. I wanted it to end beautifully. And I decided to not allow myself to make bad decisions. This decision came from the Star Wars premiere to now, so it was just less than a month that I did this. So what I did to unuglify this year is that I didn't allow myself to make bad decisions. I stopped bad decisions from existing. I didn't allow anything to tell me what to do and what I had to do, and I just did what I wanted to do. Not my plans, not other people's plans, not any plan. I started living without a plan, and I realized that it was pretty decent, pretty amazing. It was pretty enjoyable. If I wanted to lay down and watch a movie, I did it. If I wanted to lay down and read, I did it. I just did or didn't do anything I felt I wanted or not wanted to do, with my only responsibilities being satisfying my needs that I felt immediate. Not thinking about the future, not thinking about the past, not thinking about any other person. It was just me. And it was pretty good, but it wasn't the best. The last days I started analyzing it. And by the last days I mean this past week, because it wasn't that much time. And I realized that even though I enjoyed it, it wasn't the best. It was still ugly. Because I still wasn't satisfied, I still was worried, and I still had that feeling of me making every single bad decision. I felt like when I was talking, I didn't talk correctly. I felt like when I was walking, I didn't walk correctly. I felt every single thing that I did was bad. Badly made, ugly made. I felt every single thing as a mistake. I wasn't doing anything right. Even though I was enjoying my life, I was doing everyday things wrong. The year was continuing to be ugly. The feeling that had started with 2017 continued to exist in the end of 2017, no matter what I did, which makes for an ugly year. But it also makes for the best year of my life. Because Robin, as you know, ugly never means bad. They are not the same. And this was the best year of my life. Because it was the year I grew the most. It was the year I learned the most, and it was the year I changed the most. And I became the person that I am today, which I believe to be the best version of Raul that has ever existed. I failed a lot, yes. but I was lucky enough or smart enough to learn from every single failure, every single one of them. I didn't let anyone drift by. Maybe I didn't learn the full lesson, but I always learned something from every failure, and I had a lot of failures this year, and so I learned a lot. This was the year in which I most changed, and this was the year in which I most improved. And yeah, it was filled with ugly. It was always ugly, but it was always amazing. Every single night I thought, wow, this was an ugly day, but I did grow a lot. This was a very good day. The year was filled with good days that looked ugly, but I made my best to not focus on the ugly part and focus on the good part, and realize that beauty of the days is not on the outside, but on the inside of how I look at them. And I believe that a lot of people, if not most, have ugly years, but I don't believe most people have bad years. I believe they can see them as bad, but I don't believe they are truly bad. Because when we look back on those years, we can see the ugly parts and think those were pretty good times too. And that's what I did. That's what my year was. I grew and I became the best me that has ever existed. I took the ugly year and looked back and realized that it was the best year of my life. It was the ugliest best year of my life. And I'm going to take those teachings and that growth to make the next year the best year of my life. But I hope to make it the most beautiful, best year of my life. So, here's to 2018 being the most beautiful, best year of our lives. And that's it, Robin. And the challenge for this video is that you tell me, what are you going to do to make 2018 the most beautiful, best year of your life? And see you next year, Robin.